Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to react to John Wall being bought out by the Houston Rockets as he is intending to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. John Wall has been considered to be a star player in the past, but he has barely played the game of basketball in recent memory. In fact, the last time John Wall played more than 41 games in a season was back in 2017. Yes, you heard me correctly. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. What are your thoughts on John Wall planning to sign with the Clippers? And my response to that, or at least my immediate response, would be, well, at least he's finally going to play real basketball because John Wall has not played a lot of basketball in the last 4-5 years. All right, John Wall, he just hasn't. It's the last 5 seasons. He has not played the game of basketball much at all because let me tell you something. In 2018, John Wall played 41 games out of a possible 82. For John Wall, that's actually really good. For most people's standards, that's really bad. For 2018 through 2019, John Wall only played 32 games out of a possible 82 games. Okay, and John Wall, he ended up tearing his Achilles. So that's exactly what happened. So John Wall, as a result of that, missed the entire 2020 season. That was basically the year where the NBA had to go into a bubble, stuff like that. The point is, John Wall played a grand total of 0 games in that season. But wait, we're not done with that either, because in 2021, John Wall gets traded to the Houston Rockets, and in there, John Wall only plays 40 games out of a possible 72. That was actually the most active participation John Wall ever had since 2017. Which should really tell you something. He's making Kyrie Irving look really dependable out there. And that's saying something because Kyrie Irving has missed a lot of basketball. All right. And after the 2021 season, the Rockets were like, you know what, John Wall, we're going to find a trade partner for you. So you go ahead and sit out. John Wall was like, all right, that's cool. I'm going to go sit out, make my dough, make my money. And so he played 0 games out of a possible 82 games in 5 seasons. In the last 5 seasons that John Wall has played the game of basketball, John Wall has suited up for 113 games. Yes, you heard me. 113 games. You did not mishear me. Now, I just roasted Kyrie Irving 2 days ago for only playing 103 games in 3 years. John Wall only played 113 games in 5 years. And if you want to take out the year where he made the All-Star game in 2018, even though he only played half the year. That means John Wall has only played 72 games in the last 4 seasons, which is just mind-blowing to me. John Wall has literally been committing highway robbery from these NBA teams. John Wall is literally getting paid not to play. This is one of the main reasons why I don't like fully guaranteed contracts. I know some people are going to be like, oh, what's wrong with fully guaranteed contracts? You got to support the players. This is why right here, because you got a guy out there that hasn't played much basketball in the last 4 to 5 years, and he's collecting super max contracts because John Wall, although he was a good player, he was certainly not worth a supermax. John Wall is a good player, not a great player in his peak. And he was already overpaid. And to see John Wall sit out, see him barely play the game of basketball in recent memory, that is unacceptable to me. That's why the NBA, they got to change up some rules. In the CBA, they got to make more incentive like contracts, more like the NFL. That's why people respect the NFL more than a league like the NBA in terms of roster construction and player contracts. That's why people got more respect for that. But hey, that's above my pay grade. All right, so now John Wall, he was slated to make $47 million when he opted into his contract. Of course, if you're given that option, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's exactly what John Wall did. And John Wall, I mean, he gave up $6.5 million from what I hear. So the Rockets, they still got to pay him about $41 million. All right, in dead cap, basically, because they constructed a buyout, so the Rockets still be paying that in dead cap, while John Wall will end up going to the Los Angeles Clippers for what I would assume would be the mid-level tax level payer or something like that. The point is the mid-level exception. That's what it is. He's going to sign there for about $6.5 million. That's what I would assume would be happening. I don't quite know the contract details yet, but I would assume that's what would be happening. Now, let's actually talk about John Wall's fit with the Los Angeles Clippers. I actually really like this signing for the Los Angeles Clippers. Let me tell you why. Because the Los Angeles Clippers, they were coming off of a season where they did not make the playoffs. They missed the playoffs, even though they got 2 tries in the play-in tournament, and they ended up losing both of them. Now, if you want to look at recent trends, the Golden State Warriors, they lost their 2 play-in games the past season in 2021, And then they ended up making some moves and they ended up winning the championship. They ended up making moves in between the margins, but they kept their core together. If you're the Los Angeles Clippers, you're hoping to copy that blueprint from the Golden State Warriors, because the Clippers, they missed their 2 play-in games that they had a chance to make the playoffs. They did not do that. I think that adding John Wall is an excellent gamble for the Los Angeles Clippers. I think this is a move that has very low risk, high reward type of stakes. Because let me tell you something right now. If you want to compete for a championship, Reggie Jackson cannot be your starting point guard. Now, Reggie Jackson, he's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty underrated. But if you want a championship caliber point guard, you cannot have Reggie Jackson as your starting point guard. John Wall brings credibility to that starting lineup. And I'm telling you what, this Clippers team, they have really good shooting. So John Wall, he's not going to have to be great from the three-point line. He's just going to have to be acceptable. And assuming that he's been practicing the game of basketball or he's been sitting at home, you would have to think that if John Wall could hit 33, 34% of his threes, you know what? That's going to be pretty good for that kind of production. And assuming that, of course, he can be really athletic still and still get to the rim and be a really good passer. And also remember this for the Los Angeles Clippers. They're going to be getting Kawhi Leonard back. Kawhi Leonard, he tore his ACL back in 2021. He did not play 2022 at all. So you would have to assume that if you get Kawhi Leonard back, that would obviously bolster the Clippers up big time. And if John Wall works out, that means the Clippers are going to be getting 2 major additions to their lineup, to the roster with Kawhi Leonard and John Wall. Because John Wall, he's still a pretty good basketball player. I mean, look, John Wall, he was still productive. Even though he has missed a lot of time, John Wall averaged 20.6 points per game in 2020 through 2021 for the Houston Rockets. That was actually really good. I got to give John Wall tremendous credit for that. That was actually really good on his part. The problem with John Wall for me is that he just barely plays the game of basketball. But assuming that John Wall can somehow stay healthy, this is a move that I think could be the steal of the offseason for the Los Angeles Clippers. Because if John Wall manages to keep himself in the starting lineup, and not pull himself out or get injured for whatever reason, and if he can pass the ball really well, get the ball to the rim, and be a playmaker for Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and the Los Angeles Clippers, this is a really good signing. And if it doesn't work out, okay, it's just a mid-level exception. Not too much money going to be cost into it, and it's just a one-year thing. They can move on. But I think the Los Angeles Clippers, they have an owner, Steve Ballmer. He wants to win championships now. If you want to win a championship, John Wall was the move to go to. They got what I thought was a steal in John Wall, assuming that John Wall can stay healthy and stay on the floor for whatever reason. This is a move that's going to be really good for them, and he provides an upgrade at the point guard position. Now, I understand that they might be losing Isaiah Hartenstein, but look, a backup center, that's not going to kill the Clippers too much. What you need is a starting caliber point guard on a championship type of team. That's exactly what John Wall is. And they could also be losing Nicholas Batum. But look, Nick Batum ain't that important compared to a Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard could definitely replace most of that production, if not exceed past that for sure. So I really like this addition that the Los Angeles Clippers had with John Wall. It makes a ton of sense. And also, they blocked him from going to the Lakers because the Lakers, the other LA team, they needed a point guard, or at least they wanted one. I'm pretty sure they wanted to unload that Russell Westbrook contract. Good luck with that, by the way. But now you end up bolstering your team. Now you weaken the other rival team in LA. Now they're still stuck with the Russell Westbrook contract. So they make the other contenders in the Western Conference weaker. They make themselves stronger. It's an excellent move. Right now on paper, I'm giving this move an A. The only reason why it's not an A+ is because I just don't know how much John Wall is going to be playing the actual game of basketball. But assuming that John Wall can play 60 or 70 games, give them 33, 34% from the three-point line while scoring with about 17, 18 points on efficient shooting and being a good playmaker and playing some solid defense, I would have to assume that would be an excellent move. And I'm telling you what, if John Wall works out, the Los Angeles Clippers are legitimate contenders in the Western Conference. They are no joke. I really like this move for John Wall and the Clippers. I just hope that John Wall can manage to somehow stay on the floor. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. So that is why John Wall signing with the Clippers is actually a solid addition for them, as he provides them with a low risk, high reward type of situation. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. And speaking of that, this channel is really close to 1,000 subscribers. It may even reach 1,000 subscribers today. If not, it will most likely hit that tomorrow. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this channel and been watching this video and been watching my channel and been liking these videos and commenting on them. It means a lot to me, because that means the channel is really growing. I'm just so proud of you guys. I would not be in this position without you guys. So please take my statement to heart, because it would mean a lot to me and to all of y'all that I'm trying to present to you. So if you haven't yet, please like the video and go ahead and comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in a future video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dustin Tran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.